So it'll be, when it's on there, that means we're on.
It'll be there for 1,000 years.
I was about to say, hello, Lynn. How are you doing?
I'll tell you where she is after the meeting.
She usually brings food, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we missed the whole thing. All right.
Oh.
Didn't see any
We don't play. We
executive
don't watch it right now. Put it on the big
session.
screen.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll go ahead and call the Finance and Administration Committee meeting to order. First up is public session. Anyone like to take off their committee hat and speak as citizen? All right, we'll move on. Presentation, discussion items, update on current projects.
All right, so I finally have gotten the opportunity to get together with Kyle to put a list together of our projects for the current year. I think the only one that I'll mention here is one that you may have observed coming in. You should have observed coming in, but probably didn't notice it. And now you absolutely can't notice it. Did you notice?
There's a boom truck out there.
Yeah, I saw a boom
Well,
truck.
it's what the boom truck did yesterday that you don't notice anymore. It took down the blue tank.
Oh,
I'm at a,
Yep. So the old silo was gone that was used for the sludge dryer. So it was taken down.
so the last time, or the last meeting we had, they were, I guess, taking the ladder off or something.
They took it down with the ladder on. They
okay.
unbolted it from the feet yesterday, took the top part down, and took the legs.
I just knew
down.
somebody was on the ladder and there were sparks flying from the window.
I think they were cutting a hole. They did.
There you go.
They cut a hole in it, and they may have been welded.
I
I
assume
don't know if
they
they
were taking
welded some
ladder
new anchor points to lift with, but that's been the big thing that's taken place since the last meeting. So the dryer, I think that the plan initially was to have DES here today to inspect it, to hopefully get the permit to operate on it, but that's been pushed off until next Tuesday. Kyle explained to me yesterday the reason why, and it wasn't that I think it had to do with the guy that was coming to do the startup got delayed in Atlanta traffic, and so that was yesterday. He was coming, so all of this now has been pushed off until next Tuesday. I think the 1st, but I think
That's a lot of traffic.
Yeah, we're still okay. That kind of surprised me too. That
I know it's felt that way too many times too in Atlanta.
But of course, any questions you have about that or anything else, we'll be happy to talk about it.
Yeah, that Senator Friedland 99, we'll see that one hit 100.
Well, the only reason why is even still on the list is because I'm waiting to we've been kind of going back and forth a little bit with getting the legalese right in the transfer, the bill of sale agreement between us and the developer, which in that case was Fountain Residential, that installed the force main for it. So once I get that back and we're okay for us to execute that agreement, the bill of sale between us and Brindle's company, then I'll move that to 100%. I'll leave it on there more again for me. Again, this whole thing was put together for us to track stuff internally more so than to get it to you guys. But that's just my reminder every so often, if I don't hear anything, to follow up with them on it. On the green sheet, we've got a number of projects on there that are at 100%, and will probably be coming off sometime soon. But since it's been a while since anybody had seen an update on those, I've left them on that. I may leave them on there through September, and then take those off.
Are there any questions or comments? Anybody from the committee? All right. Committee action items, the July and year-to-date financial reports. Is there an update for the first one of the fiscal year?
This is the first one for the fiscal year. This was sent out to the board, I believe. It was sent out by Lynn last week. And just, nothing noteworthy that we feel in it, especially with it being the first of the year. We'll have a lot of the heavy purchases that may be on the front end of things, like our excavator, some of those big ticket items may show up on there. We've ordered some vehicles. They have not been delivered yet, thus we have not paid for them, but again, reports there for you.
Motion.
We hope to have a new financial system in place sometime in the next several months, so the formatting of these reports may be changing
Mhm.
when that takes place.
Has the bid already gone out for that?
Yes, it went out. This was one that we had put out actually last year,
Okay, so who won?
and we're still kind of negotiating with that, so we don't want to name
Okay.
who that may be at this time, to make the determination as to whether we're going to select them or have to move to another
Mhm.
selection. But again, it was an item that was in last year. We advertised it. We didn't get responses that we liked. I think we only got a very minimal number, and none of them met the qualifications that we had advertised. So we modified those, addressed some of the questions that we had received the first go round as to why some of the folks did not put in for it, and received better SOQs this go round.
Mhm.
So we did, we interviewed, demoed three of them, and there was a unanimous number one. But again, going through and making sure that we were able to work with the one that was the pick is where we are with it.
And I know technically that's off topic, but just, if I remember correctly, that one was not only financial, it was also work order.
No, those are two separate ones, but
Y'all
the
did
work
end up
order,
doing separate.
the work order one was implemented. That one we put into effect because the CMMS system, we wanted that to be the hub that everything else revolved around.
Okay.
So that was part of the hang up as to why the first go round didn't
Didn't go as well.
go, and we had to re-advertise it, is because the responses that we had gotten back, it was not clear if they would work with our City Works, which is now Trimble Unity Maintain. So we had to go and redefine the requirements for what would work with that system.
Sorry for the little detour, I just remember hearing about that. Are there any questions with the July year-to-date report? Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, none against. Action items, we do not have any listed. Executive Director discussion and compliance matters. I'm assuming there may be at least one update.
Well, we had a spill on Saturday that occurred in Cross Creek. We estimated through calculations that it was about 7,500 gallons, and it was due to a power outage that we experienced there at the pump station. So staff responded. The generator would not, we run the generators once a week. Ethan said they ran it a week prior, and the way these things always work is when you need it, they're not gonna to be there. So it ended up being that they believed that there was an issue with the battery. So he ran over to Martin Creek, robbed batteries out of that station, brought them over, and by the time he was getting them set, power came back on. So we estimate that, looking at the graph of the wet well from when it reached the full pull on the wet well chart, the high wet, that it was about 15 minutes before the pump started coming back on. And so it may not have even been that long that we had an overflow, an actual event, but that's the best we can do to document is just assume once we hit that high wet well alarm and it went off, our ability to track it, then we just assumed from that time that is when the overflow began, although that wouldn't take into account surcharging of the line and the manholes. So thus we kind of calculated it based on a little bit of a worst case scenario with evidence or document data that we had in hand.
Any other items?
None for me.
Any questions? All right. Committee member discussion. Are there any items that this committee would like to be brought either to the committee or to the board for future consideration? Y'all are making this really quick. Jeez. Okay. All right. Is there any other business? All right. Well, is there a motion to adjourn at 9:16?
Sure. So moved.
I say,
Second. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. We stand adjourned.
has Jack said anything? I mean, I'm pretty sure they said something, but what